Hi guys, very good evening. Welcome to another session with Leverage TV. Today we are going to talk about how to live on a budget while you're studying abroad. I'm Priyank Jain, Vice President with Leverage Edu, and I think we are at the onset of January intake, and I think that is the second biggest intake after fall for Canada, UK. I'm primarily going to touch upon this topic for students who are looking to go on a shoestring budget, and we try to bust this myth a lot of time that it's not that expensive to study out if you plan well. I myself have kind of covered this topic a lot of times. So today as well, we're going to talk about how can you plan your stay, how can you plan your education when you are planning to go out for your studies. So the broad points that we are going to touch about is how do you go about the budget planning for the course that you are choosing. Then we're also going to touch upon that how can you better finance it if you are going for finance. And the third thing that we are going to touch upon is while you are there in that particular city, in that particular college, how can you best manage your stay to managing the budget. So the first way when you are going about planning your education, I think budget is the first thing that you think about when you go about what are the universities, what are the countries, what are the courses that you are interested in. One key thing that it's really important is what is the budget that you're planning. And if I have to kind of break down the budget, there is a tuition fees involved and there is a living fees and living cost involved. So one good way to plan your budget is start your applications early. How does it help? It helps you because a lot of scholarships, specifically for a lot of top universities, are available till about March and April. So it always helps when you are applying early. You are able to apply for scholarships pretty early. So now is a good time, for example, to start exploring options for UK, Canada, USA, or for any other country that you are looking to go to. Most of the interested students start their applications in about 10 to 12 months way in advance. It's really important if you are on a budget and if you are looking to do your education and budget from a good university, that you do apply for scholarships. And there are a lot of scholarships available which are both internal and external, based on merit, based on university specific scholarships. So there are a lot of scholarships available from university to university. The earlier you apply, the better chance you have for kind of getting a scholarship. And it can kind of you can get up to like 5 to 20% of the scholarship for the tuition fees that you are applying for. The second thing the second way to think about this when you are planning your education is choosing the right city and choosing the right university when you are planning your education. So, for example, I would avoid large cities and I would avoid locations where the living cost is, let's say, 1.5x of the cost which is there for a city which is, let's say, 60 minutes away or 80 minutes away. Specifically, if I talk about UK, so there are a lot of universities and there's a lot of demand for universities in London. Obviously, because London is a center of attraction, London is the epicenter for all the job opportunities, placement opportunities, and all the other networking opportunities that you get. But if you really think about it, the even if you stay like 60-90 minutes away from London, the cost of living reduces drastically. The cost of living reduces to the tune of actually 20 to 25%. So it's not that bad that if you stay outside of London, save some cost on accommodation and living, and still are able to travel to London for important events. That could be a win-win scenario. So choose a location if you can where the cost of living is low and which is not a very large city or a metro city, for example. Now, once you are there in a particular university, in a particular course in a country, there are two ways to kind of manage your expenses. and that is a way to kind of manage your living cost. One is make yourself a budget. Make yourself a budget, which kind of could be a monthly budget, could be a yearly budget, could be a weekly budget, and just stick to that budget. uh, Plan out how much money you would want to allow yourself to spend for a week, and then maybe split it up. Maybe split it up, for example, bifurcate into, this would be your transportation cost, this would be my kind of entertainment cost, this would be my living cost. This will keep in check how much you're spending. It's very easy to kind of sometimes get swayed when you are in a new city, when you're in a new place, to be able to kind of to want to travel, to want to shop, and to want to go out every week. So the good way to think about it again is plan everything. Plan a travel, let's say once a quarter. Plan an outing, for example, once a week or once a fortnight, and just keep a budget of wherever you are going, how much are you going to spend. Then the other major cost apart from the living, when you are living outside, is actually uh, 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 commute cost, moving from one part of the city to another. So one good thing about all these places which attract international students, be it Canada or UK or USA, they have a very good public transportation. Specifically, if I talk about UK, it's the tube trains are very widely known, and it's very cheap as well. So it might take you a while to get used to public transport, or so especially going from India. So but trust me, it's the cheapest way to travel and the most efficient way to travel in terms of both the time and the money that you will be saving if you are planning to kind of use the budget transport. The last thing that you can always do as a student, most of these cities, most of these countries are very, very accommodating and for students. So there'll be a lot of places, be it hostels, accommodation places, eating places, who keep on offering student discounts or student vouchers, or it will always be better for you when you kind of ask for a pass which is only applicable for students or international students while traveling. So I think that is also one way to kind of do things which are cheap, irrespective of while you are going for a generic transportation, or if you're taking a leisure trip as well to museums or etc. So there are always options to kind of ask for student discount. So I think this pretty much sums it up, the session for today. Just kind of rounding it up. Uh, Planning early really helps in terms of both the scholarships and in terms of both getting a sense of which city and part of the country you want to plan your education in. And then once you are there, doing few hacks that we discussed will really help you to kind of keep your expenses in check. Uh, that's it for today's session. I kind of hope that it's helpful once you're planning your education in next intake, or if you're going out in January intake. Both of these things could help you to plan your budget better. And we'll see you soon in another session with Leverage TV. Till then, very goodbye.